Hello, Shed family. We're at the Potterville, Michigan lot today, and boy, I'll tell you what, I haven't seen wind like this in a long time. I don't know if you can hear it. It's pretty intense out there, so I thought we would go over a little bit today about our wind warranty and our structural integrity. So I'm going to do this from inside the building so I don't blow away, or at least my hat doesn't blow away. I don't want to go chase my hat. Do I? No. Way too out of shape to be running after a hat. Okay, guys, so when you get winds like this, and this is some wind, I promise you. You can see that how our building is built becomes very important at that point in time, and I can't talk apparently. So our wall studs are 16 inches on center. So when you have wind out there, you can really hear it coming in through that vent. But when you've got wind ripping and howling, you really want to have that structural integrity of 16 inch on center wall studs. So some shed builders do 23. I've actually seen them as far as 36 inches. And one of the big box stores, like a Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, had one time. They were 2x6, but they were 48 inches on center. Crazy. All right, so above and beyond that, our roof trusses are 23 inches on center. That helps you with your structural support as well as your snow load capacity. And we do have hurricane straps all the way around the building. So, you know, those are definitely something that's important as well too. So, that being said, we also have our floor joists 2x6s that are 16 inches on center. That doesn't do too much with the structural support, but it does with the floor load capacity. So, the weak point when you're having wind is probably these windows, and I wouldn't mean it in terms of something's going to happen, but in terms of some people like to, you know, have little offices in here. I've even seen these turned into little tiny homes. These are single pane, what we call shed quality windows, so you can feel some of that breeze very lightly coming around this window. The vents are pretty good about dispersing the breeze. A little bit does get in through the vents, but that does help ventilation so you don't build moisture up in your building at all. But so those are kind of the weak points. Obviously the wind is not going to harm them, but that's the only thing that wind is going to do, is cause you to notice a little bit of breeze coming in. Other than that, they're solid buildings, guys. I mean, the wind appears to have calmed down here for a second, but she was really going, and I mean, it was going. So, that being said, guys, we have a 115 mile per hour wind warranty. So what I always tell everybody, the only thing taking the shed away is an act of God. We call that tornadoes, hurricanes, a tree falling, something of that nature, but this is not going to blow away. Unfortunately, if this goes, your house is going to go with it. So these are sound units, and some counties require these to be anchored to the ground because they are portable sheds, but they will not go anywhere even if they're unanchored. We do not require anchors for the units, but if your local municipality does, then you're going to have to get them. But they're engineered to just sit right on your ground in terrible wind like this and be perfectly okay. So, shingled roofs. Most of our roofs are steel. If you do get a shingled roof, you do run the risk of shingles coming off. I mean, you can hear the wind whipping around up there on the roof. So shingled roofs, you can lose some shingles from wind. That just happens naturally. If you have a steel roof, you're not going to have any worries at all. So that'd be my only concern at all, would be a shingled roof in these terrible winds. Normally they do fine, as I would say probably 70% of houses are shingled. But that would probably be the only thing that I would ever have any concerns about. But these buildings, they're made to be in the wind, they're made to be in the snow, they're built good, and they're built to your code. So, well, if you buy them in the area, we can build them to your code. If you're up north, we have separate buildings we do for that. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to do a quick little video. I was outside and the wind was trying to carry me away. So I figured, hey, now's a good time to talk about wind, because I get a lot of customers who ask me, you know, what do I do if there's high winds? Some people live in a field or around fields and they don't have any wind stops, and they're like, Brett, when that wind gets going, man, it's crazy. I've seen it take the neighbor's trampoline all the way across the field. Well, you don't have to worry about that because this isn't going anywhere. So, sorry that this window is so dirty. Look at that, guys. Jeez. It's been raining a lot. So, right now, with the wind kind of kicking up a little bit as it is, we're in no concern. This thing isn't going anywhere, nor will it. Like I said, if it goes, it's going to take your other existing structures with it. So, keep that in mind, guys. And there's only two things I say when you're buying a shed. And we're going to start saying this at the end of every video, and we're going to program it into everybody's mind. 2 questions you need to ask before you buy a shed. Now, I would love to earn your business, but as you guys know, I just want you to be informed. If you buy somewhere else, that's perfectly acceptable. Okay? So we're not a monopoly. There are other dealers out there that offer sheds or other builders. But 2 things. Number 1, you always need to ask, is it LP siding? Okay? So yeah, we know there's some metal sided sheds. If it's metal sided, you just want to make sure that there's a OSB or something, that you're not just the metal siding against your 2x4s. But the 2 questions you need to ask, is it LP siding and does it have floor joists? There's a lot of builders right now that are building these sheds cheaper because they're just using pine lumber. They're just cutting trees down, or they're getting lumber and they're putting raw lumber on the outside of the building, and in a couple of years it looks absolutely terrible. So 2 things, regardless of where you buy your building, you need to say, is it LP siding? Does it have floor joists? Also, people are putting the flooring right down on the runners. That is, I still can't even wrap my head around that. The vertical runners, and they're putting the flooring, this flooring right on the runner. No floor joists. We have them 16 inches on center in this building, 2x6. So, whatever you're doing, guys, when you buy that shed, say, is it LP siding? Does it have floor joists? If you pass those 2 tests, you probably got a good unit. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Give you a little bit of that wind stuff, and I will catch you on the next one if I don't blow away. All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one.